the higher dimensions, when they enter consciously into the lower dimensions, they manifest as powers. If the space dimension enters into time, time literally manifests everything space wants. How you have a nervous system which passes the thought currents inside you. Same way the cosmos has a nervous system which passes its decisions and thought currents, that is the space. Constantly be inspired by the space of the Paramashiva in your space. I'll give you all the 108 great gifts I brought from Kailasa. I'll give it as an experiential initiation to all of you.
Some of the scientists and researchers who are studying the reflection have found the reference. What is out there is not just 4 dimension, at least 11 dimension. The methodology they used, algebraic topology, and the informations they have, they even tried to map it down on the brain of the rat and confirming many of the informations they have makes sense. Understand, microcosms, telescope and microscope is algebraic topology. Macrocosms, telescope and microscope together is penetrated by oneness. The moment it is initiated, if the third eye is penetrated by the oneness, it acts as telescope and microscope together for cosmos, Brahmanda, what is out there. So if you want to understand and manifest the powers, want to experience Kailasa, hold my hand and come along with me. It means sit with integrity and listen and come along with me. I'll take you to Kailasa now.
Understand, program starts but never ends, and it is never the same again. It is actually not a program, it's a lifestyle initiation. It is just upgrading your consciousness, your being. Bring intense sincerity, sincere intensity into this program. Instead of sitting with your depressions, sit with me, Paramashiva. I welcome all of you to register by going to paramashivam.org. And even if you have attended already any program, please go through once more intensely, sincerely, intensely, because it is going to be absolutely new and different level. I commit with you all. I will initiate all of you, bless you all with the Shakti Pada, Shakti Nipada, and Paramashiva myself will manifest the state, space, powers, being, superconsciousness and Kailasa of Paramashiva in all of us.
Hinduism breeds the most powerful and most influential leaders in the world. No matter which part of the world you're in, Hinduism is known for the leaders that it is able to produce. And today, in Kailasa, the first nation for all Hindus, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is reviving the formula that are there in the best leaders of the world. Dhruva, the way they thought and the way they radiated their Paramashivatva is beautifully delivered to us on a silver platter for us to say, take and start living. This is the way the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is defining leadership in the world today. And it is groundbreaking, and everyone can become a leader by just following his simple formula. What is it? Join us today on a discussion on the power of responsibility and how we can lead with integrity and empowerment. I am Sri Nithyananda and welcome to the Nithyananda Rudra Show. We'll begin with the Sadguru Vandanam. Nithyanandam Paramasukhadam Kevalam Jnanamurtim Dvandvatitam Gagana Sadrusham Tatwamasya Dhilaksham Ekam Nityam Vimalamachalam Sarvadhi Sakshibhutam Bhavatitam Trigunarahitam Sadgurum Tam Namami. Yes, you heard it. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is bringing out the best leaders in the world, and that too taking the backing of the most powerful ancient tradition that was able to give the best strategies to the world on how to be successful leaders and how to lead people dharmically in your life. So today we're going to look into first the very definition of a leader and how it is there innate in every single person. And you have these qualities in you. You have the feelings in you. That is what is necessary. The power of feeling, that is what the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism shares, is responsibility. Responsibility is a power that you can harness inside of you. It is neither a burden nor a task to be done nor a duty. It is a power, something that you can take, harness and empower yourself with and lead others. This is the groundbreaking definition of responsibility that Swamiji is sharing with everyone. Let us first take a look on the way that the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is redefining the word responsibility, infusing it with tremendous backing of the Hindu Shastras. Let us take a look at a clip where just 10 years ago, Swamiji has come out with a groundbreaking definition of responsibility.
Nityanandeshwara Samarambam Nityanandeshwari Madhyamam के साथ जीना और प्रतिक्रिया व्यक्त करना कि आपके अंदर और बाहर होने वाले सभी परिस्थितियों का मूल कारण एवं उत्तरदायी आप स्वयं है. Thinking, feeling, acting, responding, cognizing from the truth, you are the source of everything. Listen, I am neither talking to you some corporate values and principles, nor talking to you what some rishis have uttered in some Upanishads. I am talking to you directly which I experienced, which you have to experience. I am talking from the context of being responsible for making you responsible. Please be very clear. The person who talks as only one reason of making you responsible, I am responsible to make you experience responsibility as I experienced. Person with I is responsible to give vision to a blind person. Person with wealth is responsible to guide poor man to wealth. Person with power is responsible to make powerless people to become powerful. Person with energy is responsible to make energyless people with energy. Person with knowledge is responsible to make ignorant people knowledgeable. If you have knowledge, the moment you have knowledge, you become responsible to make ignorant knowledgeable. If you are powerful, you become responsible to make powerless powerful. If you are wealthy, you become responsible to make poor wealthy. Listen, I am not saying distribute your wealth. If we are having 10 poor people and you distribute all your wealth to the 10 poor people, we will have 11 poor people, that's all. With you, we will have 11 poor people. One more poor person. No. I am not asking you to distribute your wealth, but take responsibility of educating them and making them rich. Anything you own, you become responsible to share it. Make it grow. Vedic tradition beautifully says, Annam Bahuguruvita. Let us create and share. This is the vision statement I have given for all the Annalayas getting started all over the world. All the Satsangis should know I have initiated a project of sharing food all over the world, because sharing food is Vedic culture. We are agriculture society. Vedic tradition is grain-based society. Grain-based.
Yes, Nithyanandam. Yes, and we would like to welcome you to the beautiful ecosystem and the Vatavarana that we have here on the digital platform of YouTube. We have going on right now, the comment section is open to everyone who wants to join into the discussion and know and discuss about the topic that is today, leadership. And we have already some of the members also joined. David Hollenberry Nithyanandam, PhD Nithyanandam, Maria Lorinen Nithyanandam, Srinatma Maharaj, Nithyananda Maharaj, Ashish Rana, Harold Kovalenko, Nithyanandam, Antoine Johnson. So everyone, welcome to the beautiful discussion today on leadership, where we take the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism's teachings on leadership and responsibility and do the manana internally and share our thoughts and what we understand about what he said and how do we live whatever he's sharing with us. So already we have some of the questions being asked. Whenever Frederick Champ is asking, whenever I take responsibility, it makes me a target for blame. Why should I stick my neck out when it's adding to my problems and challenges? I think the core way is the way that Swamiji even addressed us in the clip that we just saw, is he sharing that we are not supposed to identify ourselves by someone who has problems and challenges, rather someone who has not come to experiencing their full potential, someone who has innate power and has not come out to express it. That powerful inspiration that tells you that you are something more than what you think your problems are, or what you think your mind is, or what you think you're capable of or you're not capable of. You're something that someone that has a higher potential inside. Literally how he shares responsibility is a power. So when we look at it in this way, not a responsibility as a task or something you have to do that is another challenge, another addition to my problems, rather a solution, a way to say I am responsible for myself and everything around me. That is the way that the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is powerfully teaching leaders today. You are responsible for everything around you. That is what we are taught as Nityananda Rudras and part of those who are part of this Kailasa ecosystem. We must cognize that we are responsible for whatever is inside and outside of us. And if this cognition This is like a ground reality. You have to think of it like a fact of the universe. The sun rises in the sun rises in the east, sets in the west. Those are all facts. The same way, we are inside and outside. Whatever it is inside and outside of us, we are responsible for us, and that is the way you need to cognize the truth of responsibilism. This is the way the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has brought out responsibility as a very ism. And yes, that's the way you should see. I think that's the way. And if anybody else has a beautiful addition to the discussion that's going on to help Frederick answer his question about what are the problems and how he feels responsibility is just another way to have people blame him. So inviting also others to join the discussion and add to this current Vakyartha that's going on. And Ashish Rana, Nithyanandam, welcome. Harold Kovalenko, Nithyanandam, and Antoine is also there, Nithyanandam. How does the concept of responsibility as defined by Swamiji differ from the traditional notions of responsibility? I think just how he defines it as an innate possibility and a power inside you. In fact, many of the beautiful satsangs he shares also that it is the power of feeling. Actually, you may be actually feeling like this in your life. You feel, why is my life like this? Why are other people in my life like this? Why? If you have a lot of these whys, then you have feelings happening. You have a feeling, hey, something should be better around me. Something should be better inside of me. Some way of I responding to the world should be there around me. These are all feelings that you have. The way you decide to say that these feelings are not going to be something that is going to be a burden, rather than something that you can take as a challenge, empower yourself and say, I am the change that I want to see. The way that you want to see the world around you. You want to feel for it. You already are feeling for it. So the way you take those feelings and make a difference in your own life and in the way that others see you and others understand you, or how you contribute to others' life. This is the way that Swamiji is defining responsibility as the power of feeling. And this is the difference between the notions of responsibility now that are mostly talked about as tasks, or maybe as ways that people understand as burdens. They just fall upon your head as you grow up. You just get more responsibility and that's it. Life is over. But that's not true at all. Swamiji was able to be an example of this by himself being a leader and also retaining such a pure space of sincerity to what he is and what he wants to share with the world. When he was like that, such lightness came with him. He never looked as if he got tired or felt burdened by anything in front of him. He kept moving on, even when the worst of the worst kind of things were kept on him, even at a state with which he would have to move away from his current situation and build Kailasa. In that same kind of a way, he's ready to start again. And that resilience also is a beautiful quality of a leader that we'll also be discussing today in a later part. So hopefully that answers the question, what is the difference between what we're responsible? And Antoine, if you share your understanding about what we shared or any questions, you can go ahead and put it in the comments. Let's have a back and forth interaction here and let it know more about how we are understanding Swamiji's words. Lord Maria Ma is saying, what will you gain by being more responsible about others? I think the true maturity in when you become a leader is that in other people's happiness, seeing the other person as an extension of you, as something that you are, actually the truth that where even the truth that you are responsible for everything inside and outside of you comes from that truth of Advaita itself. It's from Shastram, it is from Hinduism, that you are oneness with everything around you. So let's start behaving that way. That is the way that Swamiji brings it as a practical living example. So if the other person is someone outside of you and you're cognizing them as something separate, then you're not living in the space of oneness or Advaita. Rather, when that person is you, is an extension of you, their feelings are yours, their habits are yours, whatever it is that they're going through is you. So in that way you cognize them, then you are empowered. You don't gain anything because you're already in oneness. There is no give and take or anything like that. How do you put something into something else? That is the way that we should understand. The gain is actually by being responsible in the way Swamiji is teaching, by the power of feeling, you gain tremendous oneness, compassion, fulfillment, understanding, clarity. These are the real gains. And hopefully that answers your question. And if you want, you can add more to our discussion that's going on. Share your thoughts as well. And James Beckham also is welcome Nithyanandam. How do I get others to be responsible? I have a hard time making others responsible. I think the question also should be, when we ask these questions to ourselves, especially amongst us Nithyananda Rudras, is how are we involving in the other person's life? How much are they looking up to us? We have to become very sensitive to this. And we have beautiful processes that we do in the Paramashivam program itself, that we do to create a team link, where we get to know how to become sensitive to another person's ainyakara of you, and how you can be open enough to share what you feel about them to them. The unsaid things between each other have to be told. And when you have an understanding of this from another person that you want to see take more responsibility in their life, how they think of you actually matters. Because if you feel making other people's responsible is a responsibility of yours, you're having a feeling in this situation, therefore you can also take that responsibility to make that person understand how they can also see you and what you're trying to do. And everybody will understand. Just in this way of communicating with each other, we all grow as natural leaders. And that is the beautiful ecosystem of Kailasa that Swamiji has given us. In the Nithyananda Rudras, all of us are natural leaders, and that is the way Swamiji holds us. As each one has the possibility, each one is a natural leader. No one is ever put down, no one ever is specially promoted. Nothing is there. Only thing is, you stand up for what you feel. What you feel needs to be done, what you feel should be done. And that is the way we are communicating here. And yes, Antoine again is coming back. Share your thoughts on the idea that we are the source of everything and therefore responsible for all happenings inside of us and around us. I think this question can be beautifully answered in the next clip that we're going to see Swamiji talk about leaders. So let us take a look at the second clip that we have for you today on Swamiji talking about leadership.
The prasada of integrity is space of positivity. Prasada of authenticity is space of possibility. Prasada of responsibility is Ishwaratva. Prasada of enriching is enlightenment. Prasada of integrity is positivity. All the negative weeds will be removed. The real positivity. Not like positive thinking, positive, negative thinking. No. When one corner of your mind says, I'll win, you will like it. Like this only you will scream and finally you will fall in ditch, leave it. Part of your mind laughs at you. No. Prasada of integrity is simply positivity. Simply positivity. Positivity. Prasada of authenticity is possibility, space of possibility. Prasada of responsibility is space of leadership, Ishwaratva. Prasada of enriching is enlightenment, space of enlightenment. prasada of possibility, space of possibility. Number prasada of integrity is space of positivity. Authenticity is space of possibility. Responsibility is space of Ishwaratva. Enriching is space of enlightenment. संपूर्ति का प्रसाद है साकार आत्मकता. श्रद्धा का प्रसाद है असीमित संभावना. उपायनम का प्रसाद है ईश्वरत्व और आप्यायनम का प्रसाद है जीवन मुक्ति. Who sees the space of positivity, possibility, Ishwaratva and enlightenment is incarnation. Already I have started preparing the deities for the temples going to happen all over the world. Because in 2-3 months, these guys will start asking for deities. I think 1008 Shivalingas I have to send for each temple one Shivalinga. And I have also plans to give unique deities for many temples. For Singapuram, Shiva will be with a Simha face, lion face. Sarabeshwara, Devi will be with the lion face. Pratyangra, Vishnu will be with the lion face. Narasimha, Ganesha will be sitting on lion. Heramba Ganesha. Subramanya will be sitting on lion. Singamuhasuravada, Subramanya. So all will be related to Simha. Singapore. I'm planning for each branch, unique deities. ध्यान से सुनिए. Enriching is enlightenment. संपूर्ति का प्रसाद है सकारात्मकता. श्रद्धा का प्रसाद है असीमित संभावना. उपायनम का प्रसाद है ईश्वरत्व. और आप्यायनम का प्रसाद जीवन मुक्ति. And I commit with all of you this may inner program, both will be
clipped by the four tatwas cultivate inside of us, and these are also powers in themselves: power of integrity, authenticity, responsibility, and enriching. And each of these, when you follow, somebody was asking about gains that we get when we are responsible, and he says the gains of responsibility is Ishwaratva, the gains of enriching or reaching out and living for others is enlightenment itself. And that is coming from a person who is absolutely living everything he's teaching. Swamiji is an acharya. As per Hinduism, achari iti acharya is a person who practices and lives what he preaches, and that is only the qualification for someone who can be sitting as an acharya and giving people guidance and giving people the solutions in their life. So we have some of the people also joining in the discussion. If Daddy D, you're saying you don't understand, if you can share exactly what it is you don't understand, we can help you understand better about leadership or the topics of discussion that we're having today. Ashish Rana is saying, purely greed-based people enjoy responsibility for wealth and power, politicians and businessmen, but the problem is with fear-centric people who cannot stand criticism, failure, and get STHD. And STHD is self-denial, self-hatred, and self-doubt. These are the three. When we see that yeah, we are seeing that people are pulled by greed and fear out in the world, and those people we cannot even cognize if we have Swamiji's powerful understanding of responsibilism and leaders. We can only say that there are people who are caught by fear and greed. We can only say that there are people
Violent weekend across the country. There were several mass shootings, including 2 here in California.
Rate rises, inflation.
Here in California.
Rate rises.
Viewers who are sitting with us from all over the world for today's yet another powerful session. Followed by the very special darshan of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism.
For these 4 months, I am making the whole Mahaparamashivam program completely free of cost. The program, which will cost $21,000, will be free for everyone till 24th October 2023.
Weekend across the country. There were several mass shootings, including 2 here in California.
Rate rises, inflation, the war in Ukraine and the end of COVID have created a unique set of financial challenges.
A recent HHS government health survey found that nearly half of young adults 18 to 25 had experienced either substance use or a mental health disorder during the height of the pandemic.
And visualize yourself as Sage Vashishta. Gaze to the nose, visualize Swamiji in your inner space, and perform the Mula Bandha as you do so.
Nityanam, everybody. We welcome each and every one of the viewers who are sitting with us from all over the world for today's yet another powerful session. Followed by the very special darshan of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism.
For these 4 months, I am making the whole Mahaparamashivam program completely free of cost. The program, which will cost $21,000, will be free for everyone till 24th October 2023. $21,000 will be free for everyone till 24th October 2023.
Violent weekend across the country. There were several mass shootings, including 2 here in California.
Rate rises, inflation, the war in Ukraine, and the end of COVID have created a unique set of financial challenges.
A recent HHS
Yes, sorry for the technical glitch. And we're back talking about leadership and responsibility. Yes, and we have many going on in the discussion that is going on in the about responsibility also. What Swamiji says is the difference between reaction and response. And in the way that Swamiji shares about it is that a response is from a conscious decision, a way to contribute, and a reaction is a best out of your patterns of greed or fear. You make a decision to do say something or be someone. But a response is something where you are contributing to someone as an extension of you, not as you need something from them or you want them to be in a particular way, nothing like that. You don't gain anything from this. All you gain is not, that you live by the other person in your life is an extension of you, is a part of you. So we are back with some of the people who are commenting. Siri Tantuma is asking, why is it some people can easily understand responsibility and these cognitions, but others say that's nonsense? Aren't we all Shiva? So why the difference in the reaction? It is just the weight of the way they have understood the words that they are understanding. If you we are telling them responsibility or leadership, we have different ideas about it, of course, but when we align to the powerful enlightened thought currents that the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is sharing with us, when we cognize those as a reality for us, we can literally transform our lives and have powerful definitions of everything. And everything in the past, everything becomes powerful, significant, and meaningful again. That is what happens when you have the Guru in your life. When he comes and he becomes the leader. I think one of the things that we have when we are seeing each other as Nityananda Rudras or sannyasis in the Nityananda order, we see that never we even think the cognitions of I doesn't even exist. We see the Swamiji as an example of how you should always be about you. The cognition should always be about the other, and that's the way Swamiji literally lives and radiates. And whenever we even think that we're being leaders or moving things and getting things done, we're not even thinking about ourselves. We're thinking about the work needs to be done and how Swamiji would do it. That's all. We're just constantly in the thought of Swamiji, how he would do it, how he would bring responsibility on others, how he will enrich this person in this way, what he will tell this person, how he would. And in this way, I think a real powerful way is that you should come out of the thinking that my greed, my fears, our fears, or whatever you may be. You'll be able to come out of these and really cognize how Swamiji would do. I say, yes, you say, aren't we all Parashiva? So why is there a difference? The real way to think and live as Shiva is to have Shiva in your life and never let go. Swamiji is a precious gift to us by Paramashiva. He is an example, a living example of how a leader can be. We just have to have the same enlightened body language as him. And when we do the same thing, we'll understand how it is. And that's why we're so much, even we just go back to Swamiji's words whenever it comes to anything, any difference between us, any incompletions that we can face. It is going back to Swamiji's word and understanding we're here for that. We're here for living that in our lives, and that is the way we can find a solution and resolve things between all of us. And this is how Swamiji, how we have built this beautiful ecosystem here in Kailasa and amongst us Nityananda Rudras. This is how we live. And beautifully Antoine is sharing some of the clicks he has. Responsibility is a power and truths revealed directly from the Shastras. Absolutely. Everything, you are powerful itself is a cognition that we need to understand it. It is there inside the Paramashivam program. And for many of you who are new, the Paramashivam program is absolutely free for now. And if you've been seeing the promotions that we are showing to you, this is something you can definitely join. The season is about to get over in another 4 days. The season of Paramashivam is going to get over, but it will be starting again on August 5th, and we'll be able to get back. So don't miss, make the time available for yourself and as many people as you can gather for the Paramashivam convention that is going to be happening in August 5th. It's absolutely free again. It's the second one in this Chaturmasya, the 4 months. Bhava Yoga. That is a powerful chapter that you should take a look at if you want to know how to really move out of thinking about me, and move towards thinking about you, thinking about that. And that's the way, that is the difference that Bhagavan Sri Krishna even shares, is a difference between the person who is sucking life from the world around them with greed and fear, and a devata who is giving, contributing, always there and always showing the possibility to others. And that is the difference between asura and a devata. And this is a beautiful difference that Bhagavan Krishna himself points out, and it is there in the Bhagavad Gita decode. You can take a look. It is in the 16th chapter. In this Chaturmasya period, we're taking a beautiful time to read the Bhagavad Gita, and we can have more of these discussions based off our interest and how we want to have all of these Sadas sessions going on. We can take your feedback and your comments and your understanding and where you would like to learn, what parts of Hinduism that Swamiji has brought out that we want to take a look at during this Chaturmasya, and all of these things we can cherish also. Of course, we are going by the celebration of Paramashivam that is happening today. Swamiji is going to be giving the darshan in the bhava, in the form of Tripurantakar, who this embodies this very concept of leadership and embodies the universal leadership by protecting us and taking responsibility for the whole universe as a whole. Beautifully, we'll get to know more about the story there. And yes, continuing Antoine sharing, how can leadership consciousness be cultivated and nurtured within individuals and organizations to create a positive, empowering work culture? I think he's asking the same question that Petri is also asking the same question. The way to do it is just follow the way Swamiji has done it. Leadership consciousness is an understanding, actually the beautiful word consciousness itself. It is really from the truth that we are one with everyone around us. They are all an extension of us, and that is the truth that needs to be cultivated. First, second, we need to understand if we are one with everyone, since we are that, we feel, because we naturally by nature we feel others are to be better, or other things should be better in our lives, or we feel for the things and people around us. And when we do this is a natural thing, and especially as smaller children or our kids growing up, we learn to feel for the people around us and understand or feel bad or have these feelings. But the way to take those and use them as a strength and a power to ourselves is the way that we come moving from living as individuals and moving into leadership consciousness. And this is the way that we have seen beautifully, we have implemented into our very work culture here in the Kailasa's digital nation, where everyone is inspired to be a natural leader, and who are always taught the first thing whenever anybody comes up, even with an argument or anything that it is not even in this ecosystem, you can't even understand. But for those who want to understand, who come up saying, no, I'm not able to get work done, that because this person is not helping, that person that's not happening. When the blame starts moving to other people around you, the moment that cognition is told, that is caught, and we are reminded about Swamiji's teachings, that is the truth, that they are not to be blamed. You are responsible. We are responsible for everything and everybody's way of working around us. And that way we are understanding, we are more involved in other people's lives than we think. We do so much of work to put barriers and to say no, no, no. But we need to have the attitude of saying yes. And when we say yes to the other, who is, we may always be putting in our head that they are separate from us, they are different understanding from us. That is not the way to go about. The way to go about is to say they are Paramashiva, they are very and as much an extension of us, and they are part of me, and I am responsible for everything that he is going through, or whatever his way of doing things. And that beautiful way of connecting everyone is the way the Swamiji is grooming all of us and teaching us how to be leaders. And Ashish Rana is saying, yes, remembering Swamiji changes the reaction to response in so many situations. I have experienced it. Yes, absolutely. Just the way he will respond to it, how Swamiji would. And we have seen beautifully how in a satsang itself, in front of thousands and thousands of people, how he is able to personally cater a message that will hit the tone and hit the heartstrings of every single person there. That is a quality of a leader that you have seen, where he has manifested powerfully as leadership consciousness itself. And beautifully Swamiji is sharing how much of the work that is going on in Kailasa in the previous clip about expanding and creating temples and planning more and more. That is the way that we need to do it. We need to plan so much ahead, and that is what one beautiful thing that I remember, a powerful thing that Swamiji says that we share amongst us, the Rudras, a powerful cognition, is that the weight of the future should be more than the weight of the past. Seeing the future and thinking, we must manifest Kailasa. We must manifest something powerful for ourselves. We must do it for our enlightenment, to live this powerful lifestyle and to be able to provide a space and a beautiful ecosystem for anybody seeking spirituality, seeking enlightenment in their life. Kailasa has to be that place in that nation for that possibility to happen again and again. And that is the weight of the future, and that is something we celebrate in our Rudra's ecosystem, and really move ourselves forward and want to be a part of. And this is where we take inspiration from Swamiji and each other, actually, how we understood Swamiji's teaching. This is a beautiful platform to and we have another question: how does positively positive in dharmic thinking idea? We want to says he's positively, no matter what, even the most negative things, isms can be given to you, but to take them as how the Hinduism beautifully shares, when you receive the plans of your enemies' strategies, you should receive them with the most humbleness and care. That is the way we even approach the enmity that happens that happens to us, by the most humbleness. And that is the way to do. And beautifully, so many times Swamiji has shared how that humbleness can really help you move forward in life and have so much of powerfulness, from even if you're faced with this tremendous amount of negativity. So it's not positive thinking, it's just living with the truth that positivity is a fact of nature, and there's nothing negative that exists. And that is the way that you approach the whole world. And because only Paramashiva exists, only Swamiji exists, and this is the way that the cognition that Swamiji is sharing. This is what he means by positively positive. And yes, we have more comments. Antoine is agreeing. Ashish Rana, it works every time. It's only a matter of remembering. And my beautiful. I mean, there's so much we can share about remembering. Smaranat Mukti, just remembrance, right? Remembrance. And so many times Swamiji even shared about remembrance. So thank you. That is actually a powerful click for me itself right now. And how does yes, we have addressed that. It's positive thinking. It's positive thinking. So you're addressing society's positive thinking. Yes, it comes from a logic of binary where negative exists and positive exists, and you need to fight the negative. Even in the positive thinking, we are doing lots of fighting in that. We push ourselves to fight the negative. Nothing like that can exist, because there's nothing, anything that is negative that can exist, that exists in the soul cosmos. That's the way we conceive ourselves. It is all the Maya Leela of Paramashiva. That is the way we celebrate everything and anything in front of us as a humble gift from Paramashiva. That is the way we receive, and that is not positive thinking. That is just living powerfully. And the weight of the future must be more than the weight of the past. Yes, it's a beautiful click that we've just shared also among the Rudras, and hopefully we should find that satsang and definitely find out more about how Swamiji was able to share about that. Maybe you can come back in a discussion about that. Yes, Beatrice, thank you for joining the discussion, and he's saying thank you for a beautiful session. And powerfulness based humbleness and feeling gratitude. Please elaborate, Maharaj. Powerfulness based humbleness and feeling gratitude. Actually, gratitude does a tremendous amount of healing, especially when it comes, because there's a beautiful Sufi story that Swamiji shares when it comes to teaching about gratitude. One of the masters of the tradition were taking a group of disciples and going from village to village. In one of the villagers were arguing with them, and they sent them out. And the next village, they didn't get any food. Of course, the master and his disciples were suffering a lot. And then from that village, they moved to the next village, and there they were even more hostile. They literally chased these the master and the disciples out of the village, and then they were also again without food for another day. And then they go to another village, and in this village the people literally beat them with stones and sticks and chase them out, and then they are so even worse hostile, and the disciples are so depressed, hungry and tired, and they are seeing that after these 5 days literally of not even eating a meal, they go to see their master sitting and giving gratitude to God, and they're asking, oh my God, after 5 days of not even eating, how can you even think of having any gratitude in your heart for anything? And then the master beautifully addresses the disciples in the proper way, and he says, what about the 30 years of food that you have received and you're alive now because of? There is always something to give gratitude for. There's always something to be able to be thankful for. And that is the way you come out of your negative thought currents, you come out of these negative, you just heal from that. And that is the healing that gratitude can bring. Tremendous amount of gratitude as a daily practice is what we even celebrate when we do powerful cognitions and especially the completion sessions at the end of the day, when we sit and close the day with our completion. We end the day with such humbleness towards whatever we receive, towards the body we have, towards the mind and the understandings we have, towards the ecosystem that we are surrounded by. All of these things are worth giving gratitude for. Just like how the master said, you forgot about the 30 years before. And that's the way that he's celebrating. Even after 5 days of starvation, he's still able to say that there is so much to be grateful for. And that is the way that you can even understand humbleness and gratitude. And that can really heal us. And that same we have seen in some in Swamiji. He is, even if he's talking to journalists, very even anti-Hindu in their nature, is that they understand that he is always for life, for them, even contributing to them who may be even completely against him. That is the way that Swamiji brings the world. In fact, only showing love, respect, and humbleness. So Swamiji is an example of the leader that we all see in him. So I think today we're coming to a beautiful conclusion to certain technical glitches that we experienced, and it's a beautiful conversation that we're going on, and hopefully you have been able to take something away. And also thank you all for leadership today, and we'll end on the beautiful note that darshan in the Tripurantakar, a powerful manifestation of Paramashiva. You can join us I think 2 hours or so ahead of the darshan that is going to be happening tonight, and get to know. Just stay on our digital ecosystem, and you'll get to know when the events are happening tonight. 8 p.m. is the time of the darshan. You can all join us at that time. Join the beautiful Pratyakshapada puja that is happening before the session in the darshan in the evening. It's a beautiful time to really give gratitude, and there's no time that you can just stop and say gratitude for something. There is not a waste of time at all. It is the most beautiful practice. If you see so many times Swamiji has said the power of gratitude, so it can do so much of healing. So hopefully Ashish, we were able to address your question, and yes, thank you for joining us, and yes, Nithyanandam everyone, Antoine, Siri, thank you all for the beautiful Vakyartha Sadas, and hopefully we can have more of these sessions, and your feedback also is valuable. So if you can also put down how would you like to see how we can bring out Swamiji's teaching in a powerful way, live them in our lives. That's our goal. That is the way we can create a beautiful ecosystem for ourselves in a digital platforms. So let us know, let us celebrate Swamiji, and we'll see you all again. Thank you. We'll end with the Purna Mantra, beautifully ending today's session. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Tat Sat. Sarvam Bhagavan Sri Nithyananda Paramashivam Padukarpanamastu. Om Nithyanandam.
Violent weekend across the country. There were several mass shootings, including 2 here in California.
Rate rises, inflation, the war in Ukraine, and the end of COVID have created a unique set of financial challenges.
A recent HHS government health survey found that nearly half of young adults 18 to 25 had experienced either substance use or a mental health disorder during the height of the pandemic.
And visualize yourself as Sage Vashishta. Gaze to the nose, visualize Swamiji in your inner space, and perform the Mula Bandha as you do so.
Nithyanandam everybody. We welcome each and every one of the viewers who are sitting with us from all over the world for today's yet another powerful session. Followed by the very special darshan of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism.
For these 4 months, I am making the whole Mahaparamashivam program completely free of cost. The program, which will cost $21,000, will be free for everyone till 24th October 2023.